My name is Daniel James. I'm a hard-hitting heavyweight who take care of business in the cage and tries to make a difference outside of it. Chicago these days, it's rough, man. It's hard growing up on these streets with the gun violence, the carjackings, people getting robbed. The homeless and the poverty is through the roof right now. And it's just sad that I gotta look over my shoulder and know that, like, man, anything can happen. The average shooter, 13 years old. The average carjacker starts at 12 or 13 years old. Outside of fighting, I spend a lot of time with kids. Try to be a mentor, sounding board for these kids that need guidance. I go to schools, gyms, youth centers. I know how tough it is to grow up in these streets, which is why I give much of my free time as possible talking to these kids. Now here we are. There's three things I love about Chicago: the food, the Bulls, and the barbershop. This is why I come for relaxation, conversation, and a fresh cut. When I'm in a barbershop, I just feel comfortable. I know that I'm good, I'm safe. The conversation that we're about to have is about to be powerful. It's like therapy. What me and my barber talk about is between us, you know what I'm saying? Everybody out here spending all this money on therapists should go to the barbershop. This is my barber, Creative Scott, barber friend. Where all the magic happens, we have to make your boy look real good today.
When I watch Daniel fight on TV, he like a different person. I'm like, do I really know him? Like, I don't want to see that part of him. You know what I'm saying?
The name Predator came from my uncle, man. And every time I did something in a gym or whatever, my uncle used to always say, man, boy, you got them dreads. He said, you're gonna start calling you the Predator. I say, what you mean the Predator? He said, no, just because I seen you overcame a lot of things in life. Then I was like, yeah, life is my prey. I'm the Predator. I look good.
Hey, so what's next?
Marcelo Gomes. Victory. In case you haven't noticed, the heavyweight division is about to change tremendously. We need a new star. And Daniel James is gonna put on the show, night in, night out. I just love using these big blocks on my hand and just laying guys out. You know, either get knocked out or beat down, but it hurts so bad.
Watch this. Enjoy it.
The night of November 18th against Tyrell Fortune. That's like one of my favorite moments in MMA.
Oh, he's out. That was a big shot. Cut by James.
And that last uppercut, I can watch that over and over and over again.
It's over. Daniel James, the American Predator.
It never gets over. It was the biggest punch of my life. When I raised my hand in that ring, the first thing popped in my mind was, everyone better be on notice, because nobody gets a break. Not while I'm in town. Marcelo Gomes is my next opponent. Big, tough guy, 255 pounds, 6'3". This guy trains hard, he's tough. I don't put nothing past guys like this. This guy's coming, he's coming from blood. He's coming for what he wants. He wants the same thing.
Gomes gets it done with a handful of seconds left in the fight.
But it's about who wants it more. So I'm gonna get a guy to respect, but I'm gonna knock his ass out. Marcelo Gomes, I'm coming for you. So be ready.
Mr. Barber.
190, 185.
What up, baby?
Are working their way up the ladder, hoping to be king of the octagon.
That's right. Jim Marie, a local MMA fighter from the west side of Chicago, is rising up the ranks in Bellator's heavyweight division. As Matt Zahn found out, he took a bit of a road less traveled to get to this point in his career.
Daniel the Predator James has a pretty simple mindset when he enters a fight.
Somebody had to leave that cage with their hand raised, and I refuse not to have mine raised. So that's my whole thing.
Lately, the 41-year-old Chicago native has been getting his hand raised a lot. James has won 5 straight fights, rising to number 4 in Bellator's heavyweight rankings, with his eyes on one goal ahead of his upcoming bout in his hometown.
Yeah, the title in Bellator is ready to go. I'm one of the top dogs, and so for me to go fight him and win this fight, you know, to get a shot at the world title after this, that's always been the goal.
James' path to this point certainly took an interesting turn. He spent 3 years fighting in Europe and Russia, which he says included fighting against some big dudes.
Yeah, I fought against the biggest, the baddest, and the toughest. So when I came back here, I didn't look at it as a piece of cake. I said, well, it is another challenge. I am a guy that likes a challenge, so why not go over to Europe and fight and become more of a world-class fighter and build a bigger fan base and get a chance to, might not ever travel to Europe, you know what I'm saying? So I had a chance to go at somebody else's expense, thank you.
As much as James enjoyed his time fighting overseas, he's loving being back home again, and that means getting the chance to fight in front of his hometown fans.
Hailing from Chicago, Illinois.
To be back fighting in Chicago for the second time is really amazing. I was just kind of stoked, you know, when I got the call back to come back to Chicago and coming off of this winning streak. Still got the little jitters and things of that sort, you know what I'm saying? Not because of who I'm fighting, just because it's like, you know, it's my city, you know, people's coming out, and you think the last time was sold out, but like this time it's like everybody's like, they know you now. It's like, yo, Daniel James coming back to Chicago, he's putting on for the city, he's representing well.
That's not the only way James is representing his city well. He's a big believer in setting a good example for young Chicagoans and giving back in whatever ways he can.
Book bag giveaways, school supplies, uniforms. This for kids all over the city. You know, toy drives for Christmas. We give away appliances. We gave away toys. We did 2 toy drives.
If he gets that Bellator title, we might just see him helping out more. James says his goal is to win the belt, defend it in Chicago, and after that, he says it might be time to put the gloves down and put in more work in the community. In Schaumburg, Matt Zahn, CBS 2 News.
Did you realize that you were a champion in their eyes? Yes, I did. So I packed it up and brought it back to the crib. Just a little something, show you how we live. Everybody want it, but it ain't that serious. That's that. So if you gon' do it just like this. Did you realize that you were a champion? You don't see just how wild the crowd is. You don't see just how fly my style is. I don't see why I need a stylist. When I shot so much I can speak Italian. I don't know, I just want it better for my kids. And I ain't saying we was from the projects, but every time I wanna lay away or deposit, my dad'd say when you see clothes, close your eyelids. We was sorta like Will Smith and his son. In the movie I ain't talking about the rich ones, cause every summer he'd get some brand new hairbrain scheme to get rich from. And I don't know what he did for dope, but he'd send me back to school with a new wardrobe. And I think he did when he packed it up and brought it back to the crib. Just a little something, show you how we live. Everything I wanted, man, it seems so serious. That's that. So if you gon' do it just like this. Did you realize that you were a champion? When it feel like living's harder than dying, for me giving up's way harder than trying. Lauryn Hill said her heart was in Zion. I wish her heart still was in rhyming. Cause who the kids gon' listen to? Huh? I guess me if it isn't you. Last week I paid a visit to the institute. They got the dropout, keeping kids in the school. I guess I cleaned up my act like Prince would do. If not for the pleasure, at least for the principle. They got the CD, then got to see me drop gems like I dropped out a PE. They used to feel invisible. Now they know they invincible.
Champion, runners in the market, they pop the gun. Stand up, here he comes. Tell me what it takes to be number one. Tell me what it takes to be number one. This is the story of a champion. Runners in the market.
Excited to be back home. You know what I'm saying? I love fighting in Chicago. I'm glad to be back. I'm killing it right now on a major winning streak, man, and I continue to keep this going. It's just good to do it in my hometown. I'm ready to turn up Friday night. I'm hungry. It's, you know what I'm saying? I don't take emotional dumps. I'm ready. I'm getting the chills up here already, so I'm hungry. So
I know you're not nervous for the fight. Any nerves about throwing out the first pitch tonight?
Yeah, that's kind of cool though. I just hope I won't throw it in the third.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, one thing when I think about Daniel is that if he hits you, it's going to be over, and that's something that's special. You got that one punch knockout ability, so you're always going to be in the game, whether you're losing or it's tied or it's, however the fight's going. If he punches you, it's going to be over. So I think that when you have that ability, it's a very special ability, and he's always going to be in the fight.
I like it. It's my high school number and my college number. 41. Chicago is all basketball and football, baseball, whatever it is. Chicago wasn't really watching MMA or following MMA like that. The UFC came a few times. Bellator. I remember my first Bellator fight I watched in Hammond, Indiana, and I was sitting with a friend of mine that took me, and I told her, I say, I'm gonna fight for that company. And she was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And I fought for Bellator the next year when I turned pro. And then, so ever since then, I've just been trying to just put Chicago on the map with MMA, because a lot of guys train, go pro here, but they move. So I do everything in-house. At the end of the day, I hit harder than those guys, I train harder than those guys, and I work harder than those guys. Talent is overrated, like I said.
But living here, growing up here, doing everything around this stadium, partying, bar hopping, and now all of a sudden you're you fight professionally, you're a professional athlete, world class, and you're throwing the first pitch at the first Cubs game, but you've never been in the stadium. And my first time in the stadium, I'm throwing a pitch. As a public figure, as a celebrity, whatever you call it, whatever they want to call me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm from Chicago, and this shit is a surreal moment.
Dream come true, yeah?
It's a dream come true. I'm literally stoked right now. This is crazy. My son is everybody can't say this. Everybody can't say every kid can't say their dad to the first pitch. That's for the boys. When the boys see it, it's just it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm so stoked right now. This just gave me so much fire.
Stop letting guys come out and building up their confidence. Start stepping on the gas a lot earlier, getting it over with a lot faster. Just eliminate the little small things. Went back to the lab, worked back on the defense, polished up on our jiu-jitsu, polished up on our ground and pound. We just elevated and just kept training and just pushed a little bit harder, man. Every camp is always something different. It's always harder and harder and harder and harder. We prepare like hammer strength, man. We ready. So we not worried about anything. We did what we have to do. Friday night, we'll see what's going to happen, and we ready to turn up our city and do what we have to do.
Wish me luck.
This town has won 5 straight fights. Let's welcome Chicago MMA heavyweight fighter, Daniel James.
Hey, it's harder than it look. I swear to God.
You went low.
I'm throwing. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, shit. Let's go, TJ. You made it further than me, but it's harder than you think. I'm gonna shock everybody when I throw this pitch. Watch. Hey, it's harder than it look. I swear to God.
You went low.
I threw it. I'm like,
yeah, this is a childhood dream. I'm about to throw the pitch at the Cubs stage.
I feel so fired up. It's inspiring, man. It's really inspiring right now. Every kid can't say their dad to the first pitch. This is a surreal moment. It's a dream come true. I'm literally stoked right now. swear to God, it's harder than it looks, bro. When I was right here and I got there, I'm like, what the f?
At the end of that combo, if that doesn't knock him out, you wrestle his hips and thighs and you get on top of his ass.
What's up, baby?
How are you, sir?
Perfect. All night long, baby.
Sir, just getting that morning shakeout, losing all that weight cut water.
Your night, your fight, go get that shit right, son.
Yes, sir.
All night long.
Chicago's Daniel James. 15-6-1 as a pro. 14 finishes to his credit. In the knockout case, he's 3-0. 3 wins by knockout. And on the scale, he hits the limit